I'm Jimmy Babin, Creative Cajun Cooking. And you know what I wanted to do? Was a video on how to do a crab au gratin. You know, you can search YouTube. There's tons of that stuff out there, and everybody got their own idea of it. Well, here it is. I got my own idea. So we're going to get started with this. Well, first of all, they call it a blonde roux, but I'm going to call it, I'm mixing up a thickening agent, so to speak. And that's about 1.25 cups of flour. And I'm going to mix a little heavy whipping cream with it. And I'm cooking more than what would go in those 4 little dishes because I don't want to have to do this again, and you know I'm going to eat more than my share. So here we go. We're going to mix up some of this heavy whipping cream in this flour. The reason I mix this first and let it set is because it'll kind of blend itself in, and I won't have any lumps anywhere along the line. It'll smooth out once we put it in the skillet, but it needs to set for a little while first. Is there a measurement on everything? Not exactly. Let's call it, we're going to do it to consistency. Now we're going to get over here on this little burner and melt some butter. Now I've got some green onions I cut up, and I had a few tops left over, so here's the bottoms that I sliced and put them in there. And we're going to get some of that sauteed up, tender. Then we're going to put some magic swamp dust. I use the Prosh to cook with all the time. I'm going to turn this fire down some because it'll get out of hand if you're not careful. Put about 2 tablespoons roughly. Get some of these onions tenderized in that butter. Now that the onions have started getting tender, so we're going to put this flour and heavy whipping cream mixture in it and stir it as we go.
And that was 1.25 cups of flour?
Yeah.
And
quarter heavy whipping cream.
2 pints of whipping cream and 1 pint of half.
And we may have to add a little bit more if it thickens up after, a little too thick after I put the crab meat in it. And we want this stuff starting to get a few little bubbles in the top of it, so that means the flour is cooked off and it doesn't taste kind of floury. And we want that happening before we put the crab meat in, because we don't want to overcook crab meat. It don't take long, and the crab meat just needs to warm up because it's going to finish cooking off in the oven. See how this stuff bubbling and stuff around the edges? See how thick this has done got in the middle of there? So that means that flour is cooked off and it's thicker than when I put it in. Is that a word? Thicker? I'm fixing to pour this crab meat in there. Then kind of bust the crab meat up, if you don't throw it away first. And kind of fold that crab meat over in that so you're not really busting it up. So I turned the fire off, and now we're going to kind of plate this thing up. I got these cute little dishes. Now we're going to put a little cheese on top. There again, all these videos from Guru Cheese, I don't know how you pronounce that, but it starts with a G and I can't say it. That's funny right now, I don't care who you are.
Are you talking about Gouda cheese?
Yeah, Gouda! Huh? That sounds good.
That's a Gouda cheese?
Yeah.
Hey, Gouda.
They got all kind of stuff. You know, every cheese you can imagine they's talking about, you can put it on the top. Me, I like the old regular plain old cheddar cheese. I got some shredded up, and we're going to cover the tops of these things and put a little green onion tops over the top of that for a decoration. I'm going to set it on a tray because I do them all at one time in my oven. Now we're going to put that in the oven. We'll put it in the oven for 350 degrees until the cheese kind of melts and get a little bit of brown stuff on it. We got the cheese kind of melted because I didn't want to burn my little green onions I'm going to use for decoration. So So I'll put a few of those around. Oh, that pan's hot. Did you see me jump? That pan was hot.
I'll teach you.
We're going to slide that back in for just a minute. And them little onions can not really cook out. You know, it's a little flavor and decorative thing. How you cook anything in South Louisiana without some onions? I'll put it back in there. It don't take but just a little bit more and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Let's do a little cheese pull. See that? It didn't burn against the plate, and you can reach and grab it and pull you some cheese up. It kind of strings out a little bit, but it's not so much cheese that overbears the crab meat. How about that?